Welcome back, everyone. Today we're gonna talk about Genesis 5, verse 11. And all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. First phrase we have all the days of Enosh, the full measure of frailty. The Zohar teaches that Enosh's life embodies the truth of his name. Enosh means frail, mortal man. His 905 years represent a full cycle of life under the shadow of human weakness. Unlike Adam and Seth, whose lives were directly tied to the divine image, Enosh symbolizes the first generation in which humanity turned its gaze away from God. His days were long in number, but thin in spiritual weight, because his generation fell into idolatry. The Midrash explains that Enosh lived nearly a millennium, showing God's extraordinary patience. Yet, it stresses that during his days, the sons of men began to call idols by God's name, confusing creation with Creator. His long life is less a reward and more a demonstration of God delaying judgment until the time of Noah. The next phrase we have 905 years. Symbolic numerology. 905, 9 plus 0 plus 5 equals 14, corresponding to the gematria of Yad, which means hand. This number reappears from verse 10. 815 equals also 14. The Zohar interprets this repetition as showing that the hand of God still upheld humanity even in their fall. At the same time, the hand of men stretched toward idolatry, grasping false powers. The Midrash says that the 905 years symbolize incompleteness compared to Adam 930 and Seth 912. As generations decline, their spiritual stature diminishes. Enosh's shorter life than his forebears reflects the weakening of man's spiritual root. The last phrase we have, and he died, mortality in the age of idolatry. Enosh's death is marked simply without honorifics. The Zohar emphasizes that while Adam's and Seth's deaths were significant transitions, Enosh's death highlights the inevitability of morality without transcendence. He died as all men die, embodying his name, frail and passing. Yet the Zohar adds the spark of holiness within him was preserved through Kenan, ensuring the holy line continued despite surrounding corruption. The Midrash points out that even the first men who lived centuries could not escape death, proving the decree of Genesis 3, verse 19. Enosh's death served as a reminder to later generations that longevity does not equal immortality, and even the frailest of men remains accountable to God. The Kabbalistic symbol, the descent of generations. Adam 930 years is the foundation of humanity, divine image. Seth 912 years is the restoration of image. And Enosh 905 years is frailty, the first major decline. Each step shows the diminishing of the divine reflection in humanity as idolatry spreads. Yet, through Kenan and later descendants, the spark is secretly carried forward, preparing the way for Noah. To summarize, Genesis 5 verse 11 concludes Enosh's story. The lesson from the verse: Enosh embodies the paradox of man, long in years, short in spirit. His death marks the truth that without turning back to the divine, even centuries of life end in dust. Yet, through him, the spark of holiness survived in hidden continuity toward redemption. That's it for today. Thank you very much for your donation. Be blessed, everyone, and I will see you on the next episode.